Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Trump comes forward, sends Gloria Allred scurrying back under rock she crawled from to sue him. In case you missed it, Gloria Allred is mounting a nasty sneak attack against President Trump. She is a publicity hound of the worst kind and usually ends up with egg on her face. Sometimes the huge public outcry she gets for airing her allegations to a hapless media gets her a huge settlement check from someone who doesn't want their names dragged through the sewer. But she met her match with Donald Trump. He does not suffer foolish lawsuits lightly and always fights back. Gloria is actively suing the sitting President of the United States of America on behalf of a former Apprentice contestant who crawled out from under some rock where her career went to die to accuse Trump of sexual assaulting her in a hotel room. Trump hit back and called her a liar. So Gloria is suing for defamation. Can you believe that? What happened to free speech? The right to defend oneself from publicity-seeking harpies like Gloria Allred? According to the New York Post, those are the same issues Trump's lawyer is making in a motion to dismiss this case and send Allred scurrying back under her rock. Trump's lawyers are arguing that Summers Yurvos inserted herself into a political debate with her false accusations at the height of a presidential campaign. And moreover, Trump's lawyer Mark Kasowitz correctly points out that this was a politically motivated attack and that Trump was exercising his right to defend himself when he called her what she is, the worst kind of liar. Share if you agree. The nightmarish thing the New York Times allegedly just printed is treason and Trump should take them down. This needs to get out. It appeared on Reddit this morning and we at Liberty Writers are looking into the veracity of it. It is very treasonous if true. Take a look at this advertisement below. The funny thing is that this ad is so off the cuff. It's way stupid. What are these people resisting? Are they resisting the millions of jobs that Trump has brought in? It's a 17-year high. Are they resisting the stock market being at an all-time high? Are they resisting ISIS being defeated? Are they resisting 3% GDP growth? Are they resisting Obamacare falling apart? None of this sounds like a nightmare. It's the American dream. The resistant is being bankrolled by the Refuse Fascism organization. Refuse Fascism got $50,000 from a group backed by George Soros, according to the Daily Caller. The New York Times is a nightmare. These calls to remove Trump pants at all costs is nothing short of treason. It should be treated as such. Share this if you are praying for our president. Trump's tax cut was just announced and what's in it will save Americans thousands. The Republican tax reform plan has just been announced and it's sure to make just about everyone happy, except for congressional Democrats. The plan, obtained by the New York Times, includes tax cuts for the middle class and corporations. In other words, it's a win-win. If passed, companies will finally be able to conduct business in a competitive tax market and will be free to invest more heavily in the American economy. That, of course, will benefit the middle class who work for such companies, in addition to the tax cuts they'll see on their personal paychecks. According to the legislation, those making less than $24,000 annually would pay no income tax. Married couples making less than $90,000 would be in a 12% tax bracket, and those making up to $260,000 would pay 25%. There are minimal changes for those making $1 million or more, though. Those under 7 figures will be taxed at 36% and those over would pay a rate of 39.6%. The bill also eliminates the alternative minimum tax. In other words, the GOP tax plan is saving those who need it most. The middle class will finally get a reprieve from taxation and our corporations will finally be paying a fair rate that won't have them fleeing to other countries. Trump is making taxes great again. Comment thanks, Trump. And share if you want these lower taxes now. There's still a long way to go in Congress. We need to make sure every Republican is on board or this plan won't pass. Chuck Schumer hangs head in shame as terror victim's father comes forward with heartbreaking plea. Chuck Schumer, shame on you. Your disastrous diversity policy has come back to haunt this great, and may I add already the most diverse place on the planet, nation. It is liberalism run amok and Trump is the antidote, the solution America needed and elected. For one main reason, to stop the madness. To fix the mess the establishment has made of this great country. With things like diversity visas when we are by far the most diverse, welcoming country in the history of the world. To say nothing of the most generous. James Drake's son, Darren Drake, 32, was one of the 8 victims of the horrific attack. He went on Fox News and made a heartbreaking plea for common sense to prevail and for us to back Trump's bidding plan. He called Darren the perfect son and told how he was pursuing his second master's degree and was on the local school board. How he was respected and liked by all because he was such a good kid. He told Fox News. These people, they come to the country and they hurt us. I just think that vetting should be a lot more difficult to allow these people who come into the country, especially a single man. You get these radicals, and my son is the victim. Correct. It is madness. And Chuck Schumer better not try to obstruct Trump's common sense solutions. Share if you agree with this brave father. Dana Loesch comes forward, silences whiny Michelle Obama with one brutal fact. This needed to be said. Thanks Dana. The liberals have been running the asylum for too long and it is time common sense made a comeback. We have let the liberal politically correct police run rampant around our society and now people are afraid to speak. And not just conservatives. Liberal icons like Bill Maher have been banned from liberal colleges. It is a classic case of if it ain't broke don't fix it. Why are we trying to fix free speech? It is a question for the Obamas as they led the onslaught among other things they broke trying to fix. Michelle opened her big mouth yesterday in Chicago to kick off the Obama Foundation. She ripped President Trump and it backfired in humiliating fashion. And inexplicably she went after men. Michelle said we are making men feel a little entitled and a little, self-righteous sometimes. Now, her kids are girls so she must be talking about Barack, right? Dana Loesch's jaw dropped when she heard that so she came out to set the record straight. Speaking to Fox News Loesch said. This conversation got me. I feel as though we live in a society that has a sword drawn on men. I feel we live in a society where men are the enemy. Look back at the UVA rape story that Rolling Stone did. We live in a society where women, I feel, are quite demanding. Women are in the streets marching for abortion on demand and taxpayer-funded birth control, so this really struck me as odd. Let's raise men to be gentlemen, women to be ladies and let's encourage respect for both sexes. I don't think that serves any purpose to cut men down that way. I know she has daughters but as a mother of sons, I disagree. Share if you agree. Trump's right. New details emerge about NYC terrorist's wife and they are horrifying. Trump's right again and the media owes him an apology. Trump went on record and spoke the truth, a year or so ago, saying the families know about these radicals. They have to know, how could they not? Keep in mind when these clowns turn into radical Islamic terrorists they don't do it in a vacuum. They treat their women so poorly, they never let them leave the house, so they are there and must know. It is common sense. And as more horrifying details emerge about the family, Trump is looking smarter by the minute. The Los Angeles Times just released a shocking expose of the terrorist and his wife after going and talking to neighbors. Many neighbors spoke of how they were uncomfortable because Saipov's wife wore a niqab, a Muslim garment that covers everything except the eyes. There are other Muslims in the community, but most wear scarves around their hair, not the full beekeeper suit. It was unusual around here. You could only see the eyes, said Dolores Stanton Vargas, a neighbor. Saipov and his wife, Note Samyodilova, were considered odd. The wife hardly went out. They were very mysterious, said Altana Dimitrovska, before adding that the wife would watch the world go by and the kids play through the curtains. The girls didn't have friends. There were no parties. Other neighbors said there were two friends who visited often. Men with long beards and their wives in full niqab. And we really hope the FBI is hunting them down right now because something smells rotten here. Another neighbor said the murderer rented multiple trucks and just had them sitting idle. The wife and family and those friends knew what was up. They had to. America takes in all people, and we only ask one thing: assimilate into our culture and share our values. If not, we don't want you here. Share if you agree.